from Whittles Field, this is Archbishop Spalding Lacrosse. The Cavaliers are trying to shake out of a funk that has seen them drop 3 straight, but there are no easy games in the A Conference today. They welcome the Admirals of Severn School. Just about set to get underway. Glenn Clark alongside of Andrew Scally. Sean Hatley couldn't be here today due to a beard-related emergency, but we are going to do our best as the Cavaliers will have the ball first. I was going to say that, but nope, Robbie Hopper not able to find help there after he won the ground ball and completed the faceoff. So instead, it will be the Admirals who have the ball first. Andrew, the reality for Archbishop Spalding, the offense has to get going, and they're going to push some buttons today, try to change the lineup a little bit in order to generate some goals.
Yeah, Glenn, 13 weeks into the season, or 13 games rather, they've been struggling to find an identity, and some of that's due to the fact that they have, a lot of young guys that are, looking to sink into some playing roles. So they've got guys like Matassa stepping up recently, and so he gets to start here on attack. You see Alec Howard out there on attack as well. We saw a lot of him the past 2 games, down on that side of the field, and really just trying to get that right 6 out on the field to play the way that they know they can play.
Step down, skip goal for Tanner Huber, the sophomore from Severn Park. And it's Severn on the board first. Huber, his first of the day and his 8th of the season as he drops the bomb up top. They were a little scrambled defensively, and Huber able to get open from a good distance out, skips it home.
Yeah, wasted no time there, and that's something we don't often see from that Spalding defense. They've really been the anchor for this team,
no question,
all season long. So hopefully they can settle in here and get back to the basics.
Criswell pushing. He pulls the trigger himself. It's going to be turned aside. Loose ball. It will ultimately be covered up, held on to in goal today for the Admirals. Jackson Reed. Make sure I've got that right. It is not. Yeah, it is. I said it right the first time.
Got it.
Why'd you
should have backed you up?
Why'd you correct me? Jackson Reed in goal, future Vermont Catamount. 26 saves on the season. He stopped 51% of the shots that he has faced. I got to double check on that. They both, it's unfortunate. It is Reed. So they have 2 primary goalies. William Perez, who's headed to Navy, wears number 10, and Reed wears number 20. It is Reed who's out there today. Perez had been the primary goalie for this team, but it is Reed between the pipes today who comes up with the early save. Coming back the other way, trying to get free is Andrew Beard. Sends it back behind, and the Admirals go to work. Severn, maroon shirts, maroon shorts, black numerals, the white outline, the maroon helmets. They're moving right to left on your internet dial. Turnaround shot, great save by Newman as he denies Dring.
Yeah, that's going to be a confidence booster for Newman and Cage, coming in, saving just above 50% for the season. Seeing the ball early is key for those guys to get momentum rolling.
Issues in the clears this season.
5 to get it over here. Got to send it.
Hopper launches it downfield looking for a target, and it's going to be thrown away. So not exactly the start that you were looking for today, Andrew.
No, not quite. Severn gets on the board early there. Good shot, right? Second shot on Cage. Newman makes a great save. Defense, as we talked about, settled in there, gave up a good shot, and unfortunately couldn't clear it. And now they give the ball back to Severn. And we've talked about it the entire season. Any team in the MIAA, you don't want to give them extra possessions, right? They're going to capitalize on those. So hopefully Spalding can have another stand here and get the ball down to the offensive side for the first settled possession.
So 3 minutes gone by in this first quarter. Admirals got on the board first. They lead 1-0. Severn 12-3 on the year, 3-3 in conference play. They've won 4 out of 6 coming into today, including a 10-7 win at Gilman last week, their last time out. The only losses during that stretch is a kamikaze effort. The flag comes out. The goal, let's see.
I think they're calling this.
There's discussion still as Barrel dove in.
A lot of deliberation here.
Spalding players are confident that it's going to be no goal.
Yeah, they actually sent their defense off to get the offensive subs on. Now they're calling the third official. Oh, here we go.
Good goal. Good goal for Jackson Barrel. First of the day, 16th of the year, makes it 2-0-7 with 8:35 to play. We'll have to watch it again. And I'll force Andrew Scally, because he's so good in that role as Dean Blandino, to play.
Seen it live, I mean, I was more upset about the fact that, Robbie Hopper was patient, got the trail check, and the ball just fortunately bounced, one hop into Severn's, cross, and able to face dodge and get underneath there. It looked like he made a lunge towards the that restricted area. Mm-hmm. So without having the replay, I'm going to stick by that and say the refs missed one there. A little biased.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I'll admit.
You? Not even a little bit. Soteropoulos comes up with it himself, moves it ahead. Behind the back pass that I don't think was necessary from Lloyd, but it works out.
It seemed like a desperation move, but it worked out.
So Severn with a chance to extend the lead even further. It's a Spalding team that, as we mentioned, has struggled. They've lost 3 straight, including a 10-1 loss through the weather at Boys Latin on Saturday. A couple of 1-goal losses, however, before that. And they had won back-to-back games, and they were right in there against Gilman to overtime. It looked like maybe the season was turning around, but unfortunately, the struggles have continued for a young team.
Yeah, what I've seen for the past 13 games is just a lack of consistency, and that's we've seen more consistency on the defensive side of the ball with Coach Hockle leading that group there. They've done a phenomenal job. Hopper coming in here with 27 caused turnovers. That's pretty significant. So they've been playing well there. Offensively, we've seen glimpses of greatness, and then we've also seen kind of the opposite, and so I think that's what has plagued them. Great shot there.
And a lot of attention being paid to Jacob Todd. That allows Jackson Barrel to get free in front. Barrel from Todd makes it 3-0 Severn.
Yeah, Spalding needs an answer here, and that's what I was getting to. Is as far as the consistency goes, they go in these stretches where they'll score and they'll look, like they've practiced for weeks on end, and then you got other times when it's just a lot of mental errors, and when they make those mental errors, it seems like the opponent has capitalized on it and gone on their own runs of 3, 4, 5 goals in a row, which is demoralizing and kills momentum. Here, down 3-0 early, I'm looking for a solid possession here.
They just need a possession of any sort.
Calm things down, take a deep breath.
Again, Soteropoulos is headed to Hobart, comes away with it himself, takes it all the way in, shoots wide. The backup is there. For Barrel's second goal of the game, 17th of his junior season. Boy, nearly even more disastrous as Todd got all the way in front before anybody bothered to pick him up.
Yeah, it looked like a communication error there on the defensive side. Weren't ready for the quick reset.
It might have been Hayes, actually. All the way down.
Wow.
Another shot that's slow and saved by Reed. So we haven't seen a settled possession yet today for the Cavaliers. Andrew?
Yeah, I think we have 3 shots so far on the game, one from a face-off specialist and one from a defensive midi. 2 people, right time, right situation, you're going to allow them to take those shots. But ideally, you want to settle the ball down, especially after playing defense for as long as they have. I mean, 5 minutes into this, first quarter, it's been all Severn, and the defense has been on their heels. So
I'm going to guess that's why Brian Phipps decided to take a timeout after that shot was off target and said, yeah, we got to settle down right now. To the point, obviously, you want to be good in transition. You want to take advantage of those opportunities, but sometimes you have to recognize, as you were just talking about, not right now, not the time for that. The ball's been on the other side of the field for the entirety of the quarter. We just need to get our guys out, get some touches here, get the defense a little bit of a rest, a breather. Just not the time for a transition shot.
Yeah, I agree there, and it's tough, right? As a coach, you're looking at a player, like Jameson Kaufman, who is extremely athletic.
No question.
Extremely tough, willing to, lay everything out for this team, which he's proven, so far this season, to say, hey, pump the brakes in that situation. He had a great move, cleared it, on his own. Decent shot. I mean, he's made a couple good saves. What I've seen, though, is 2 of the 3 shots have been low, and he's gobbled them up. So I'm curious to see if there's any coaching going on the sideline right now to say, hey, guys, we need to change our playing a little bit here. Let's get him moving pipe to pipe to see if we can capitalize. But you're exactly right. I mean, they need a possession here, and I guarantee you they talked about that just now is, guys, just get the ball on the offensive side, take a deep breath, get into our set, and let's, control the ball a little bit more than we have been.
3-0 Severn in front. He's Andrew Scally. I'm Glenn Clark as the Cavaliers take their first timeout of the first half. Now the Admirals go back to work, trying to stretch this lead out further. Todd sends it up top. Huber keeps it moving.
It looks like Spalding's dropped in the zone here.
No question. Todd trying to get free, thinking about it, fakes, loads up, switched hands. Ever so capable. Oh, great interception. Just a pure, clean snag. Robbie Hopper pushing and decides he's going to keep it moving, and that leads to an open look in the middle. P.J. Pokeness low to high to get the Cavaliers on the board.
Yeah, that's one of the no, yes type plays. You know, we had literally just got done talking about slowing it down, transition. You have a guy like Robbie Hopper, phenomenal play on the defensive end, showing his range in that zone, you know, picking that pass off. We know he's not afraid to run the field, but right there, that last pass inside, as a coach, I'm opting to pull that out and, again, settle up and take some time off the clock, get a breather. But, hey, I'll take the goal.
Don't mind that part. Makes it 3-1 with 5:51 to play here in the first quarter as Philly tries to get in there and muck it up. Ball comes back the other way.
Great speed there by Garza.
Garza does well to get that ball right at the near sideline.
Yeah, that was just pure speed. He beat him, and it was point A to point B for him there.
That's how you got to win the faceoffs. Go do it. Get those wings involved. Help out. Now a chance to cut it back to a one-goal game and actually run an offensive set.
This is weird. This is 66. Yes. I haven't seen this lately.
Strange feeling for the Cavaliers today. Jack Newell, again, has been moved to midfield today.
There we go.
Free, shoots low, and scores.
What a great response there.
Jack Newell, his first of the day, his 19th of the season. P.J. Pokeness has scored his 19th, and Jack Newell says, I'm going to play catch-up to tie that team lead. Makes it 3-2 with 5:09. So very good stretch out of the timeout for the Cavaliers.
It's definitely a confidence booster. You know, the first real possession they've had down there, they identified a matchup, right? So they're running Jack Newell at the midfield and trying to find that shorty matchup to get him top side across the front of the cage to his left hand, which is his strong hand, against a short stick, which he's proven he can beat time and time again. So I'm curious to see if they go right back to that same matchup this possession.
Will Cook, the long pole, comes away with the ground ball. Dangerous pass from a Hopper, but it works out, and Garza will bring it over for the clear. So after all that, as disastrous as this felt just a couple of minutes ago, Spalding's got a chance to tie it up right here.
That's all it takes.
Make it take it sport. Cavaliers settle in again. Talk me through the idea of moving Newell to the midfield.
Well, I think he was down low just out of necessity. You know,
nice pass up top at the shot.
Took it off the helmet there. He might be
Garza.
Down, yeah.
Boy.
Right off the ear.
Some concern, understandably so. That is not fun. Never pleasant. And getting back up, that's Finn Kinsella.
Going back down now.
Oh, you don't like that. The senior from Annapolis who's headed to be a Bullet at Gettysburg is receiving attention after he took the worst of that shot. Now gets back up and is able to walk
on his feet.
Yep, walking off on his own power. You like that. Clearly you're going to go through concussion protocol, obviously, make sure he's all right before they would allow him to return to this game.
But, yeah, Glenn, going back to your question about seeing Newell running out of the midfield, I think that's mostly matchup-driven, but also, you know, Spalding's roster, right? So they had a few injuries early on in the season. You know, Mollett used to play down there on attack, and, you know, he's been out for the last, you know, several weeks. So it's really based on that structure and trying to find the right group out there, and he's one of those guys that has confidence and, you know, with the ball in his stick. So you want him on the field as much as possible. Now with Matassa playing a little bit better, he's back in the starting lineup. He had the ability to bump Newell up there and hopefully find a shorty matchup, you know, where he can excel.
Garza gets checked right as he's looking to shoot, but look who's there to get the ball right back for the Cavaliers. Would you ever believe it?
I could have missed the play and still guessed the name, but Hopper's been amazing all year.
to me, indisputably the team MVP this season. He has just been massive. Take nothing away from Logan Meehan, who I think has played really well, and Nolan Philly, but
For sure.
Hopper's been such a monster all year long. 3-2, another opportunity for the Cavaliers to tie it up.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing here. The past several times they've won face-offs or gotten a turnover, they've come down and they've gotten into their set, spun the ball, been unselfish with it, and really tried to take advantage of some of these matchups. So now they got the two-man game going behind with Mollett, name I mentioned earlier. Who's dangerous back there.
Talented freshman. 12 points on the year as he's battled through injuries. Second midfield out there with him. Coming
Good
Matassa.
look.
Can't sneak
Just
it
wide.
in. Backup is there. Mollett has it. Still 34 on the possession clock. Mollett trying to get topside. Back to Matassa. Oh, and just dropping that one. Alec Howard maybe shooting before he had the ball in his stick. Transition the other way.
Good hustle by Duffy to get back in the hole there and stop that fast break.
Slow it down.
Yeah, that was huge. Won't show up on the stat sheet, but you go from a turnover down the offensive side to be able to stop potential goal on the defensive side is huge.
They had an issue there in the sub game, but again, good communication in order to scramble back and get it covered. 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Severn in front, 3-2. They scored the first three. Again, an issue in the sub game. And again,
give it back.
They're going to get it back. Kaufman comes up with the ground ball. Kaufman looking for some help over on the far sideline. It's not there, so he's going to have to work it back. Still plenty of time.
Yeah, 10 to get it over.
Newman, dangerous pass. And it will not be saved in.
I don't understand that play
tell.
right there. I mean, when the ball went out of bounds, they had 2 seconds. He launched it with about 6.
Was he going to Ruiz, or was he trying to get that down further to Matassa?
Coach Phipps works with these guys about putting the ball out in space, when they see that their teammate has a step on the defender or the riding, opponent. But there, it seemed like he kind of put him in a tough spot. You had the sideline there, the ball dropped, in the white, only given a couple yards to work with, and had a little too much speed on it.
So a couple of issues in the clear so far here in the first quarter as we go under a minute to play. Severn looking for their fourth of the day, trying to extend the lead back to 2 before the end of the quarter, presumably holding for a last-ish shot.
Yeah, about a 10-second differential there, and you see Spalding's in the zone, and they're kind of forcing them to kill the clock in this situation, trying to avoid a matchup issue or, their communication has been struggling a little bit. In zone, you have to communicate, obviously, so maybe they're trying to kickstart that by being in that zone.
Under 20 on the shot clock. They're going to get moving. Hallam swings it out wide. Spalding stays right in that zone. They're keeping it tight. Beard moves it back up top. Now Todd goes behind the back. And that bobbled for a second, and that'll kill off the shot clock.
That's a great stand right there for Spalding.
Cavaliers have to hurry if they want to get a shot off. And they'll get one
on
off.
Cage.
Kaufman lets it fly in the middle of the field, but won't go. However, Spalding, after spotting the Admirals the first 3 of the game, rallies to get it closer at the end of one quarter. It's 3-2 in favor of Severn. You're watching Archbishop Spalding Lacrosse.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance. And if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
Getting ready for the start of the second quarter. Spalding trailing Severn 3-2. Glenn Clark, Andrew Scally with you this afternoon. And Andrew, it did not look good at the start for the Cavaliers. Out of that timeout that Brian Phipps took, they looked like a mostly completely different team.
Yeah, they came out of the, off that first whistle, and Severn took it to them. There's no doubt about it. I mean, down 3-0. It felt like an inflection point, and they answered the call, and they got a couple settled possessions. I think that was a difference maker in the back half of that quarter. They got the ball on the offensive side of the field. Defense did their job, got them the ball. They settled in, they ran their offense, and they shared the ball.
And they were rewarded for it as they get back within a goal at 3-2. The teams will switch sides to begin this second quarter. Criswell out there against Soteropoulos. Nick Soteropoulos came in today 44.2% on the season. Criswell at 50.2% on the year at the face-off dot. Cavaliers moving right to left on your internet dial in this second quarter, and a face-off violation to begin the quarter. The first of the first half for Spalding. So Severn has it to start quarter number 2. What impressed you about Severn's offense in the early going of this game, Andrew?
Well, they were sharing the ball, right? So I think a lot of the offense runs through Todd on the attack. And, when he draws all that attention, he's one of those playmakers that can get other people involved and make them better.
Nice save by Newman.
Good shot right there, good look. But, yeah, he got others involved, and they took advantage of it.
Beard shooting high, Newman coming up with it.
Good composure there from Newman to get that ball under control and find an open man.
And Ruiz completes the clear, so the Cavaliers get it back. Talk about Jacob Todd, the future Princeton Tiger. Senior from Stevensville. Came in today 35 goals and 34 assists on the season. Already has 1 assist today. 35 and 35 on the year. That's not too bad.
Pretty impressive. We'll see how they respond, though. Spalding showed zone a couple times there in that first quarter. With this caliber of coaching and players, they're going to draw something up, right? They're going to have a play. They're going to have a set to try and answer it. Hopefully Spalding can, match that. Good look inside.
Oh, into the middle, and Pokeness bounces all the way out to the far sideline.
That's a great look right there.
But you can't ask for a lot more than Pokeness, so we know about his toughness. It's legendary, P.J. Pokeness' toughness. He does not mind that hits are going to come. He is willing to go camp out, use that part of the field in order to get good looks.
Did that go off the pipe, or was that a save? What happened there?
From the angle, it seems like it has to have been a save, but I had the same question from here.
I don't understand that look right there.
Not necessary.
Not necessary. 40-plus seconds.
But of course, what do you think is going to happen the other way down? Oh, unfortunately, this time Hopper not able to hold on to it, but did at least slow it down. Battle for the ground ball continues.
I didn't know the Scoopers League had a live stream. But here we are.
I was watching my son play in that league the other day. Somebody says, how's lacrosse going for your 5-year-old? I said, well, if you've ever wanted to watch.
2-hour ground ball.
100%. I have just the sport for you, my friend. Cavaliers get it back. Wolf moves it to the middle. And Wilbur. It's that next midfield out there again for Spalding. Wilbur thought he was going to put his foot down and try to go towards goal. Instead, sends it back to Matassa. Howard, great fake, gets
there
inside. That is high level. Alec Howard's 10th of the season, and we're tied 3-3.
That's a phenomenal move right there. I mean, Howard is known for his outside shot, right? He's normally a pick and pop guy. He goes out to about 7 yards and has an absolute cannon there. Defense reacts to that. Quick little move, get underneath, stuck a corner. So great composure there.
3 goals from 3 different goal scorers. The Cavaliers on a 3-0 run. Tie the game back up 3 apiece. 9:26 to play in the second quarter. Clean face-off win for Soteropoulos. Trying to get free.
Here you see Spalding's defense pressing out. They get him with a ward.
I couldn't tell.
Pull timeout.
Timeout. There you go. Timeout taken by Severn as Soteropoulos was in a bit of trouble with Will Cook all over him.
I like that. I mean, you keep the face-off, specialist with the ball in his stick. You extend out defensively and pressure those adjacents, eliminate his options, get the ball, out of his stick. just hope he makes a mistake and let the long pole go to work there.
Well, it also feels like worst case scenario, you're wasting some time on the possession clock after a clean face-off win.
You're wasting time with possession, and you just got him to burn another timeout.
Yep.
We don't know how those timeouts are going to play out later on. It could be, pivotal, but now they're one short.
First timeout of the first half taken by the Admirals. 3-3 game. It has been a tale of essentially two different games. As Severn scored the first three, they were rolling a couple of goals for Jackson Barrel. Then out of a timeout, Spalding scored two quick ones to get it back to a one-goal game. Now they have scored first here in the second quarter to make it 3-3. Andrew, one of the storylines I wanted to talk about today is just mentally how these young players have handled the difficulties of the season and, the expectations that came in. This was a team that was ranked in the top 25 nationally going into the season, and I was wondering how they would handle all of that. It seems like, for the most part, they've kept their spirits about them as the season's gone on.
For sure. Good look right there. Make it over and back here.
And indeed they will.
Let them play.
All right. Nothing wrong with that.
I'll come back to that question right after
take
this.
advantage of a transition opportunity, however. Hopper in the middle of the
Hopper!
field. Hopper makes it 4-3.
I know Sean's dealing with a beard emergency here, and that's
Yes.
beard, not beer. If it was beer,
Correct.
I would have sent for help long.
Never have been an emergency, I don't believe.
But he would say most electric play in lacrosse,
No
the long
question.
pole goal.
Robbie Hopper with his first of the game, his fourth of the season, and indeed the Cavaliers are able to take advantage of that not being stopped right there. Push and transition, and Hopper's the one to hammer it home. 4-0 run for Spalding has them in front here early in the second.
Yeah, I love to see it.
Now,
But
I'm
yeah,
gonna take you back to that thought.
Getting back to your question, I mean, I think that's been the character of Spalding for years, right? I mean, they show up every single week, every single month, every single season, ready to work. And I think it's a short memory mentality. If you go down either a goal or a game, right, you're coming back to fight, and it's telling, given the fact that it's such a young team, what the coaches have done with these boys year in and year out. It's a different mentality that they're going into it with, and coaching them through, the adversity. So they've responded and
they're
down but never out.
On top of it, Hallam's shot was impact, and that slowed it down enough to present the opportunity to race that out. Give credit to Meehan. Now open on the near side, Ruiz. They get the clear.
I don't know if you felt it, Glenn. It little subtle momentum shift there.
I would say a seismic momentum shift, not a subtle momentum shift. Seismic. And really, I would even add, particularly important, that Severn took a timeout, had the opportunity to regroup, and it hasn't changed anything in this second quarter.
Yeah, as a coach, you pull a timeout, hoping to draw something up and put one in the back of the net, or get a stop if you call on the defensive end. To come out and turn the ball over is, kind of twisting that knife a little bit and, demoralizing, for lack of a better word.
Great snag by Matassa back behind the cage to protect possession for the Cavaliers. Bennett trying to get free. Swings it back over. And now Matassa will go back to X.
Yeah, I like this matchup here. Shorty matchup, take him behind where he's uncomfortable.
Oh, I don't know what was going on there as Matassa loaded up entirely too much. It was late in the shot clock, so they're going to have to try to make something happen, but no idea what happened. It was a mistimed pass?
I think it was a desperation check, poke check right there at the end. Poke that bottom hand, sent the ball sky.
There you go.
But either way, I mean, I like Matassa with a short stick matchup back there. I'd love to see them send another midfielder with a short stick and just create a little bit of confusion, a little bit of chaos. A lot of times those short stick D middies, aren't comfortable or used to playing behind the cage. They're typically, up top in a situation or maybe even inside, but always above the cage. So I would like to see them take advantage of that a little bit more.
Admirals trying to end this 4-0 run for the Cavaliers, get back on the board. Don't think that was the shot they were looking for, but the backup was there. It felt a bit forced.
think what Coach Hockle is doing, going in and out of that man and zone look, is kind of throwing Severn for a loop here.
Back on the turf, Hopper not able to goose it over to some space.
30 on the shot clock.
Move down to the near side. Collier sends it back behind. They got to make their move. 15 seconds. Hayes trying to get free. Nothing there. Great defensive stand. Can they finish it off? Dangerous double. 2 seconds. Shot not on target. Shot clock violation.
I mean, that's got to get the sideline fired up. 80 seconds of hard-nosed defense there. Granted, Todd's not on the field. I think that is, he's the straw that stirs the drink for Severn. And, with him on the sideline, that possession, you kind of saw, lack of structure and lack of organization. And I don't know if it's a confidence thing from Spalding or the fact that, they were just answering the call, but they seemed confident, they seemed poised, they seemed, settled in. And it started probably halfway through that first quarter, after they stopped the bleeding initially. They snapped back to who they've been for the last, handful of games.
No question about it. A chance to extend this lead even further. Build more confidence heading towards the half. Sow some more doubt for the Admirals. Bounce past Wilbur will handle it. It's that second midfield out there again. Matassa working from X, under 30 on the possession clock. Up top to Mollett. Gives it off to Howard. Sent back behind to Matassa. Pass is just a little bit off.
Yeah, and those, fractions of a second, they matter. So
good move. Mollett gets it up top. Howard not able to get the shot through. To your point, it doesn't seem like a big thing, but when the pass is just a bit behind, it runs another second, and what you were working as the ball was moving, it gives them an extra second to settle it back up, instead of you moving the ball crisply and catching them kind of off guard with sharp passes.
Right. I mean, that's definitely from a defensive perspective for sure. And then offensively, it's also everything's about timing. So if you draw up a play to throw forward to then set a pick to have somebody cut off that pick, he's going to be there, a half second too early. At that point, the defense can recover and potentially, knock the pass down.
Shot blocked. Ruiz doing all sorts of work to try to keep it on the turf. Ultimately, it does stay with the Admirals as Beard comes away with the ground ball. Cavaliers able to regroup, get settled again defensively. Under 30 seconds on the possession clock. Todd gets free. Todd trying to knife his way through. Somehow hangs onto it, but Newman comes up with it.
That's a great save.
By the way, an excellent effort by Todd to hold on through all of that. And yes, to your point, Newman holding his ground. They do get the 60-second reset, however. Ticking towards 3 minutes to play in the second quarter. Spalding in front, 4-3. Todd again. Jacob Todd. Now it comes all the way down to Hayes, who will keep it moving. They go under 30 again on the possession clock. Dring, leading goal scorer, came in today. 45 goals on the season, turns around. Quick shot. Backup is there, but just 18 seconds on the possession clock.
They were in the zone. Now it looks like they're dropping back into the man situation. Every time they go into that zone, they kill off.
Hallam, desperate effort inside. It'll be picked up. Just 8 seconds remaining. Running shot, not on target, and backup is there for Meehan. Probably wouldn't have mattered because there were just going to be 3 seconds on the possession clock, but love the effort anyway. Get you an attaboy or two when you head back over to the sideline the next time.
Yeah, it's a big stop for morale and excitement over there on the sideline. See a lot of guys jumping up and down, getting excited for their goalie and their defense there. So hopefully offense take advantage. Timeout here.
They'll take their second timeout, second and final timeout of the first half here with 2:06 to play. Let's hear it for the Cavaliers defense, which has not allowed a goal since that timeout back in the first quarter. That's well more than a quarter's worth of gameplay at this point, but they have held Severn scoreless. Really impressive efforts from Spalding's defense since that time.
Yeah, I agree. And I think a lot of it, you know, differently than what we've seen most of the season, I think it started on the offensive side of the field. I think a little bit of excitement, a little bit of momentum building on that side, seeing the ball hit the back of the net, you know, that helps the defense. They get fired up. They know they're doing their job. Now they have that extra edge, right? Guys, now we have Severn on their heels, right? So let's keep, you know, sticking with our game plan. Let's stay aggressive, you know, keep pushing the tempo and dictating. I think since the first, like you said, the first half of that, you know, first quarter, they've been dictating. Severn's on their heels, and they're really taking it to them. And if they can continue that throughout the game, it builds both sides of the ball, offensive and defensive.
Yeah, I'm in favor of that for the record. I'll put
For
that
sure.
out there, right?
All
I
day.
approve of said strategy. 2:06 remaining, 64 seconds on the possession clock. What are you thinking about right now, Andrew Scally, in terms of what you're trying to do? Is it try to work some time off the clock? Is it just go ahead and go try to score, win a faceoff, and then you worry about the clock?
Yeah, I don't think the clock is too much of a factor here with 2 minutes left and only 64 on the shot clock. I think you're spinning the ball here. You're getting into your set. You know, back with this, you know, first line midfield in here with Wolf as an addition. I want to see him spin the ball, maybe have a set play, but ultimately get back in their set that's been working for him, that weave, you know, just sharing the ball and finding the open man.
Diego Garza operating from the top. Out of the timeout, Cavaliers have scored 4 straight, dating back to the first quarter, to take the lead. Like to add to it before the half. Got to hold on to the ball. Fortunate that Newell's stick actually just slowed that one down so he could go back and get it. Towards 33 seconds.
Like to see him get the ball behind here. Just get the defense to turn their head a little bit.
That zone look from Severn. Garza drops it down to the near side. Now gets it back up top. Under 20 seconds on the possession clock. Tough angle, but what a shot! An absolute rip from Matassa. Makes it 5-3 Spalding.
Tell you what, that shot right there makes you question the zone. Right? When you drop into that zone, you're tempting, you know, shooters like Matassa to pull that shot right there. You know, that's a backbreaker for him.
Despite not having a ton of angle to work with, Matassa said, where we're going, we don't need no angles. 5-3 Cavaliers. 5 goals, 5 different goal scorers on this 5-0 run. And
nice ground ball.
A face-off win as
They
Philly
got numbers
comes up
if they
with
hustle.
it. But do you want to push it or do you want to hold? Now I think
Smart
the
play.
answer is easy.
Yep. You can hear Coach Phipps from here calling for him to pull the ball out there.
Under a minute.
So now with the shot clock out of play here, I think you do, you know, take some air out of the ball. You're thinking about the clock. Taking what they give you, right? If they're going to let you walk in and score, you're doing it, especially given how you've been playing at the face-off X. But now take some time off, kill the ball on this side of the field, or like we've always said, put in the back of the net and go back to, you know, the face-off dot and play a little make it, take it.
Again, the ideal time is in that 15 to 20-second range.
Yeah, I'm probably more in like the 12 to 15 with 20 if you go and you score. That's plenty of time for, you know, lost face-off to go down the other way. 12, you're going. You might have 3 or 4 seconds of, you know, desperation shot if you had the backup. But you guarantee yourself. Wow.
Howard whizzes one in. Backup's there. 8.7 seconds remaining.
That was a pretty close backup call there.
I thought he had inside position, though.
Yeah.
I do think it was the correct call, but you got to go quickly now.
Here's 5
Bennett
seconds.
to the top. Howard beats his man. Oh, got a good look. Just couldn't get it on cage.
That's what he wanted right there.
And not much you can do in 0.7 seconds, so that will be how the first half comes to a close. But a dramatic turnaround in this first half. Spalding was trailing 3-0 back in the first quarter. Since then, they've scored 5 unanswered goals, and the Cavaliers go to the half in front, 5-3. You're watching Archbishop Spalding Lacrosse.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was
always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding, it laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and then transitions directly onto the field where that consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
I still remember my first day.
You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader.
You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here.
And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance. And if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding, it laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and then transitions directly onto the field where that consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
I still remember my first day.
You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader.
You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here.
And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance. And if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding, it laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and then transitions directly onto the field where that consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
I still remember my first day.
You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader.
You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here.
And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance. And if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding, it laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and then transitions directly onto the field where that consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
I still remember my first day.
You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader.
You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here.
And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
Getting ready for the start of the second half here at Whittles Field. Spalding in front of Severn, 5-3. Glenn Clark, Andrew Scally with you. Andrew, what a turnaround for Spalding. I think this is a great measuring stick for a team that has been through as much as they have been through this year to come out, find themselves down 3-0, nothing going their way in the early going. I think it's a testament to this coaching staff, to I think this group of kids that they battled through, worked their way out of it, and they find themselves in front 5-3.
Yeah, they definitely came out and got punched in the face and got right back up and got after it. And you're right, it starts, top down with, Coach Phipps, Coach Ford, Coach Cottle, Coach Hockel, all of them, rallying around that and not panicking. I think in other games we've seen, there's been a sense of panic. It seemed like they, had some poise about them and knew that their moment was coming, and they capitalized on it and, get that first one, and then it's built from there. So I'm curious to see how this second half starts. It was a tale of two quarters for sure for Spalding. So hopefully they're, going to continue the momentum they built there in the second quarter.
And take me through, if you're Joe Christie on the other sideline, 6-year head coach, former Drexel standout. what are you saying to your guys? Is they've got to be a little bit shocked from where they were to where they are at the half. How do you talk them through that?
Well, I think they're saying it's kind of the same thing. It's a tale of, 2 quarters for them. Now it's the second half. It's 0-0. Let's go back. Let's get that first one and build. Offensively, they got to find an answer for that zone. They've been able to slow it down and take a lot of time off the clock, and it hasn't resulted in any goals. Not going to be happy with that, but
excellent job on the ride for the Cavaliers. Hopper's open again, doesn't take the shot this time, and I
try to get a little cute there with a little, they call it a twister, keeping it right-handed and bringing it across, your body.
Seemed like that might have been a good situation to just run back behind Cage and find somebody to run the offense for you.
Exactly. There's no harm in running that through X, maintain possession. The most important thing on the field is the ball. So, with possession, Severn can't score. Stating the obvious, but
you say that it's technically not true, because if you, for some reason, turn down, fling the ball the other way.
have we seen that?
I have never. Nice job by Newman to pick that up. I have never, but I do always have to correct.
You want to keep the door open for it.
It's not impossible. It's extraordinarily unlikely. Ooh, that's a dangerous. Whoo-hoo. Boy, Hopper that time.
Now he's looking for his.
Yeah, he needs some help here.
Counterpart here.
And
there we go.
Yeah, he'll get that.
Wolf will settle it down here.
Hopper was just dangling that ball there on the sideline, asking for that to turn into trouble. Fortunate that it didn't. Robbie Hopper does so many good things. And I'm going to assume that when you are that type of player, the coaching staff will forgive a few crimes of aggression, like what happened on the first possession here in the second half.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the kid's got an absolute motor, and he doesn't quit. And so when he's running, I mean, how many times have we seen him run the length of the field, make a great play on defense, go down offensively, make a great play. Even there, turn the ball over. He still made a great play, ran 80 yards, and it didn't work out. And now he's on the sideline catching a breath, but he'll be right back out here as soon as, the ball goes down the other way.
Newell's shot was low, under 20 seconds on the possession clock. Matassa from back at X.
Broken
Matassa gets free and buries it. Second of the game for Joey Matassa, 5th of the season. 6-0 run for Spalding. And it's 6-3 with 9:32 to play in the third quarter.
Tell you what, Matassa came into this game. He's seeing red right now. I mean, he came out to play. We've talked with Coach Phipps before the game. He's really played well, and the outings he's been in, and then also in practice.
Yeah.
So keep that momentum going, and keep putting the ball in the back of the net. There you saw, switch to a short stick midi, broke the stick over Matassa's shoulder, kept the dodge going, and he changed his playing there. So he dropped his stick a little bit. Goalie dropped to his knees slightly, brought it back up top.
So glad you brought up. That's what Brian Phipps said to us this week. It was that he practiced so well. As Gordon Griffith gets out there for this face-off. Coming in today, Griffith was just 2 for 7 on the season, but looked pretty good on that one, Andrew.
1 for 1 today.
I really talked up what Matassa had been doing specifically in practice in that email thread that we'd shared with Coach this week, and talks about the value. Good practice is turning into good play for Joey Matassa. A pair of goals today.
Well, that's really where the confidence starts, right? I mean, if you're with your guys day in and day out, and it's tough. We're at a point in the season where guys are another one.
Alec Howard from Matassa. Howard's second of the day.
And he can pass.
Doing a little bit of everything today for the Cavaliers. The sophomore feeds Howard, makes it 7-3 with 8:46 to play in the third. Alec Howard joins Matassa with 2 goals on the game. Howard's 11th of the season. 7 straight goals for the Cavaliers dating back to the first quarter.
And that's a shot we're typically accustomed to seeing from Howard. That's exactly it. 7 to 10 yards, step down, time in room, just beats the goalie with raw power.
Interesting that Griffith stays out there for another face-off. What do you think they're trying to do here in the second half?
I don't know if they're trying to, throw something different at him, or if, it's, again, one of those things where he's playing well in practice and giving him a shot here in the game. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Sure.
And, Criswell had been competing the entire first half, and I don't know if something's going on injury-wise or stick-wise or something, but I know these guys don't make many mistakes, so they're seeing something that we're not.
Hopper nearly gets it out again on the trail check. 1, 2, Hopper's coming for you.
I'm starting to get scared.
I don't blame you.
He's Severn all week game planning here.
They keep it moving. Under 30 on the possession clock.
Great defense.
Good double. Now they'll settle back up. Under 20. And that's off the pipe.
Oh,
but
unfortunate
there
rebound.
to clean it up. Just some bad luck. Sometimes the ball bounces your way. Sometimes it most certainly does not. And it's Hallam. Hallam who puts it home. Says there's 2 number 8s playing in this game. Call mine. Makes it 7-4. So that ends a drought for the Admirals that dates all the way back to the first quarter. 7 unanswered goals in that span for the Cavaliers before Severn gets back on the board. And again, it's Griffith out there at the dot. Won by Severn. So, can that ignite them?
Yeah, I mean, looking at the Severn sideline after that goal, typically in a situation when you're down, you just gave up 7 straight goals, you know, there's a lack of energy, and that's what I saw. So I think they were trying to stop the bleeding right there, and they did. Hopefully, you know, Spalding can get a stand here and get back. Another shot and a save.
Low shot. Newman able to handle that off the stick of Mason Irvin. Mason, the elder of the 2 Irvin brothers. Gavin's
This will be an offsides call. There we go. Flag down.
So penalty coming. Which, believe it or not, would be the first penalty of the day for either team.
So, yeah, I mean, as I was saying, that goal, it stopped the bleeding, but it wasn't an excitable goal, right?
Sure,
Giving up
didn't
7
really
straight
fire 'em up.
Yeah, it's still got a tall mountain to climb, and now a save and an offsides call. It's, as I said, twist and knife earlier. That's salt in the wound.
Garza trying to get free. Of course, when you're offsides, you might as well stay offsides.
Correct, and for those watching, Spalding will maintain possession as long as possible, knowing that as soon as the ball is turned over, either picked off by Severn, it goes in the back of the net, goes out of bounds, they'll have a free possession. So here, taking some time off the clock, maintain possession, and it also does another thing. With an extra guy on the field, you might think that Severn's in an advantage here, but it's an attackman that's now trying to play defense, so it kind of jacks up the slide package. There, didn't lead to much, but
did not lead
took
to
some
anything.
time off the clock.
Yes, as Garza lost it. But yeah, to your point, you are 70 seconds closer to being victorious. It will be offsides. 30-second penalty coming for the Cavaliers. First extra man opportunity of the day for either team.
We haven't called Jack Newell's name, so that's me speaking into existence
he
here.
He had one in the first half.
It was early,
yep.
But since then it's been, the Pokeness, Alec Howard, Matassa show.
That is true.
Matassa with the most recent goal. I'm sorry, Alec Howard
from
with
Matassa.
From
right.
Matassa.
Just 10 seconds remaining on the penalty. Okay, so you don't have to force anything because you still have possession out of here. Garza inside, and Koeman's in trouble. Wow, great job just to give it a shot, but couldn't connect back with Garza. The other way, penalty killed off. It'll be slowed down. Beard will wait, get his guys out there with them. Again, Severn now tries to use the penalty kill as some momentum. They want to inch closer the final 5 minutes of the third quarter.
A little pressure from Hopper there.
Still Hopper and Meehan all over him. This is nightmare fuel. Having those guys coming after you.
Yeah, no thank you.
And it's taken clean, picked up. Why not?
Let's get a possession here.
Hopper races
Got
it
a show
down.
for him. There we go. At 7-4, and rattling off 7 of the last 8 goals to go up on the board for Spalding. You know, you got to keep the foot on the gas pedal. Too often you see teams.
You're probably not winning this game only scoring 7 goals today.
Right. Yeah, Spalding's got to get to double digits. I think, 11 might be the number, somewhere in there, 11, 12 goals. But if you sit back and, rest on your laurels there, you give Severn an opportunity to get back in this with one big play.
Mollet
and
to the middle,
work.
PJ Pokeness. Second of the day for Pokeness off the great find from Mollet. And it's 8-4 Cavaliers with 3:52 remaining in the third. Pokeness is 20th of the season. For Mollet, his first point on the day is 13th on the year. And the lead is back up to 4, matching their largest of the day. 8-4 with 3:52 remaining in the third.
Yeah, it's great calling Mollet's name again. Hadn't seen him past couple weeks due to injury, but getting back in, he's proven he can dodge. He's proven he can score. And right there on the feeding end.
And it was Griffith out there again at the dot for the Cavaliers.
I'm trying to find Criswell on the sideline.
I think I got him. And he appears to be all right.
Still suited up.
Yeah. Holding his gloves, not wearing his gloves. I don't know if that's significant. To your point, awful lot of reasons. Oh, you can't lose someone defensively that way. It's a cheapie, but
counts.
Yep, it sure does. Just can't get that loss defensively and end up leaving anybody wide open in front of the goal. And yet, it's sort of silly how it went in, but Jackson Barrow will take it. Third of the day for Barrow, cuts it to 8-5 with 3:12 remaining. How does that happen?
Yeah, just they're capitalizing any lapse in communication, lapse in slide package. Took advantage of it again. To your point, somewhat cheap, right? It wasn't a man-on-man type play there. It kind of just bounced the right way, but sometimes that's what it takes to get back into a game.
No question about it. And I don't believe there are any style points in the final score. To my knowledge, that has never been the case. Thankfully, there's no style points in play-by-play voice's apparel either.
I think that's probably why Sean elected not to be here.
Right,
the beard,
he heard there
the
might
beard
be.
was not looking, up to snuff.
Right.
Last week he came out, fresh cut, looked great, trying to compete with Coach Cottle's mustache. It's been neck and neck all season. Cottle's.
Boy, there was a flag out on that. It's a push. Goes against Kaufman. So a 60-second man-up opportunity here for Severn, their first extra man chance of the afternoon.
Looks like Coach Hockle's electing to put a short stick in Ben Ruiz on Todd in the middle there. Look for Todd to roll off the crease here to get involved in the play. But right now, somewhat of a face guard. We'll see when he moves if it's a true shut. But could be playing decoy here.
Hopper pushes out on Huber. They spin it out of trouble. Back up top. Barrel shot not on target. Backup is there. 25 seconds remaining on the penalty. Penalty is synced up with the shot clock. Oh, getting free. Beard. Wow, he had a great look at that.
Yeah, he'll want that one back. Fortunate for Spalding's defense there. Missed the rotation.
16 seconds still remaining on the penalty and the shot clock. Hallam. Back to Beard.
Got a matchup on the inside. Past couple goals have been tight to the crease.
And that's loose. 1 second. They're not going to get a shot off.
That's beautiful. Beautiful defense.
So the penalty kill and the shot clock violation for the Cavaliers. They survive their first penalty of the day. Get it back, leading at 8-5 as we go under a minute and a half to play in this third quarter.
Long possession here resulting in a goal would be huge for momentum. Minute 18 left here in the third quarter. exchanged goals a couple times here in this third quarter and you know, shown a little bit of light for Severn. So slamming that door shut here with a goal would be big going into the fourth quarter.
They have extended the lead. It's 5-3. It's now 8-5 as we go into the final minute of this third quarter.
Heard a call from Severn's sideline there when Spalding looked to bring that short stick behind. It sounded like they were dropping into their zone. I think Mahler didn't realize how open he was there.
I don't think he did either. I don't even know that he looked towards the goal.
He was at 10 yards, no one in front of him. But with short clock here, it's okay to maintain possession and keep playing.
And it might be that they told, hey, this is what we're doing here. You're running it no matter what.
Got him on the move now.
15 seconds, Comans. Pass deflected. Just 12 seconds now on the possession clock as Matassa is going to have to speed it up. Dangerous skip pass gets knocked down. Briefly, there was a shot for that to be held on to. Won't be. Just 12 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Check sticks here.
Let's knock back the
Double
other
look.
way.
Ooh.
Oh, Matassa couldn't come up with the ball. He gets shoved down. No
push. Letting him play.
And that'll be how the quarter comes to a close. We got 12 minutes remaining. Spalding will look to hang on, pick up a second conference win when we come back in. They're in front 8-5. You're watching Archbishop Spalding Lacrosse.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance, and if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
Spalding in front 8-5 as we begin quarter number 4. Glenn Clark, Andrew Scally with you. Andrew, what is it going to take for the Cavaliers to get the job done, hold on here in quarter number 4?
For me, I think it comes down to being the aggressor here, keeping the foot on the gas pedal. We saw a little bit of a lull there for Spalding, and granted, you're not going to hold down another MIAA team for, you know, eternity, right? So Severn came out, scored a couple in that quarter. So Spalding's got to stay aggressive offensively. Defensively, continue to do what they're, you know, doing. I'd like to see them go in and out of that zone a little bit and eat some of that clock. I think the clock is their enemy. As long as that clock, you know, has some time on it, Severn's going to keep fighting. So maintain possession offensively, stay aggressive, and then defensively go in and out of that zone, slow Severn down and limit their chances.
Gordon Griffith again out there at the dot to start quarter number 4. It's been a steady diet of Griffith here in the second half. Thought that was going to be a push too, but again, no call. So the Admirals have possession to begin this fourth quarter. Spalding, if you're just joining us, fell behind 3-0 back in the first. Then, out of a timeout, completely flipped the script. Scored a couple of quick ones. Stretched out 7 unanswered goals into the third quarter. Been back and forth since then. 3-goal game as we begin the fourth. Spalding trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. And that's not a good way to do it as Chase Hallam gets free in front. Hammers it home.
Yeah,
Second of the day.
Seen a little life there from Severn's sideline. Hopefully it's not one to kind of kickstart a run here, but I'm not sure how that one even made it through. It looked as if Jamison picked the pass off, but somehow it ends up in Severn's stick, and you know, Spalding was then out of position to make it stop.
Hallam's 29th goal of the season cuts it to a 2-goal deficit, 8-6 with 11:14 remaining. And again, it's Griffith, and again, Spoteropoulos comes away with it.
Yeah, without being able to talk to the coaches at halftime, and I'm curious to see why they decided to make that switch at the face-off dot. Griffith came out, you know, won the first one, but since then has lost everyone since.
Beard loading up. He all of a sudden has
great
3
check.
white shirts all over him, and he can't hold on to it. Can't hold on to the ball for that long around this Spalding defense.
Risky pass there, but
lob
converted.
pass. Kaufman gets it. Kaufman pushing.
Easy.
Loads up.
Easy.
Oh, he finds Pokness, but a great save from Reed.
Yellow here. Got to slow the ball down.
Cavaliers hold on to it.
You know, I talk about being aggressive offensively and keeping the foot on the gas. Right there, Jameson being a short stick D-mid, he's proven that he can take the ball down the field and make good decisions. Right there, he's not the guy we want taking the ball in his stick with a 2-goal lead. We can be aggressive out of a 6v6 set, right, and still take time off the clock. It's a high-risk, low-reward play right there, but fortunately it bounces Spalding's way.
Worth pointing out, Pokness did have a very good look.
He did. It's one of those shots that we had it earlier. No, yes situation. And with a 2-goal lead, with 9.5 minutes left.
You're saying the value is running your offense.
Exactly.
Getting
for
free
that reason
running
right there.
shot and hammering it home. Jake Wolf, give me your howl.
Oh! He's in the building. He is in the building.
First of the day for Jake Wolf. Makes it 9-6 Cavaliers with 9:43 to play in the fourth.
Wow, painted the corner.
Boy, did he have a head full of steam on that one. Running shot goes. Third of the season for the sophomore. Just when Severn was starting to build up a little bit of momentum, Andrew.
Wolf answers. But I tell you what, I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board on the how. I need to practice a little bit.
No,
I
thought that
a little
sounded
rusty,
good.
non-acoustic environment.
Good recovery. Griffith and Pokness getting back in there, getting the ball on the turf. Pokness comes away with it after a face-off loss. Cavaliers ball anyway. And again, clock is your friend. 3-goal lead, under 10 minutes to play. No need to be doing anything in a hurry right now.
Yeah, I mean, I like what I saw in that last possession. They took advantage of what Severn was giving them. They stayed opportunistic, and right there, just a hell of an individual play by Wolf to come across the field, strong hand, again paint the corner.
Somehow Pokness, I thought that was a dangerous pass from Mollett, but Pokness ducks underneath, catches and scores.
That was definitely a dangerous look right there, but Mollett, coming in, has an assist already on the game, seen the field well.
Maybe he was throwing it to space. Maybe that's really
exactly what he's doing. It's a good hard cut by Pokness there.
Pokness has the hat trick. 21st on the year, third of the day.
But Glenn, on that, we know Pokness is a right-handed player. That's a great feed for a lefty cutter because it's their strong hand and it's, they've got the protection, their bodies in between their stick and the defender. Right there, Pokness had to catch it with his right hand in traffic, handle the ball, and then have the composure to collect it and find the back of the net. So, I mean, great individual plays right there by both Mollett and Pokness.
Largest lead of the day matched by the Cavaliers at 10-6. Admirals need an answer, and boy, they get it awfully quickly. And when you need an answer, that's not a bad person to turn to.
Right, with 30-plus goals on the season, look for them to go back to him being down, a handful here with 8 minutes left.
Jacob Todd, the senior, headed to Princeton. They did not waste much time at all. 8:32 remaining in the fourth. It's now 10-7. And the Cavaliers have been at a disadvantage in the second half as they have not won as many faceoffs. Griffin can't come up with that one. Spotaropoulos ahead. They're scrambling, and it turns into a very quick goal. Lawrence Dring. That took all of 7 seconds. And we go from a 4-goal game to a 2-goal game in less than 30 seconds. And I think it's safe to say at this point that Criswell is not available.
Yeah, and I'm seeing Coach Malamphy, talking to Griffith here, trying to talk him through what he should do in order to slow that breakdown. And right there, he made an adjustment to make the Severn face-off specialist go backwards, at least stop that break, but still resulted in an easy ground ball and a Severn possession here, now down 2.
So out of nowhere, all of a sudden, Admirals right back in it, and if they can convert here, it's a 1-goal game. Dramatic turn of events over the course of the last minute.
Yeah, there's got to be an adjustment at the face-off X. It's tough, playing this make-it-take-it game, and now momentum is seemingly shift. Shot and a miss there, but has shift towards Severn here. So if I'm on the sideline, I'm looking to put a pole at the face-off dot and at least slow them down and make it a ground ball battle versus a simple, plunger move, pushing it back, and an easy ground ball.
I think it's Hopper who's been the only pole to take face-offs this season. Ball on the turf, good job. Kaufman can't clean it up, though, and so possession stays with the Admirals.
No reset, so no possession there. 18 on the shot clock.
Hallam chased it down.
Got to go.
Todd gets free, and it's a 1-goal game. Second of the quarter for Jacob Todd. 10-9 with 7:16 remaining in the fourth.
Sidelines coming alive. Parents in the stands have come alive.
And it's
Spalding needs an answer here.
And I think a timeout is going to be taken, understandably so. 3 straight goals from Severn to cut it back to 10-9. And it starts at the dot, where 2 of them they won very cleanly, pushed forward, turned them into quick goals. The third one, again, still somewhat cleanly. To your point, you say it's time. Just stick a pole out there. Try to slow things down, because right now it just looks like an overwhelming advantage.
Yeah, you got to make this at least a ground ball battle. It can't just be a quick turnaround, scoop, and go. The other thing, even more important, I think, than the face-off dot at this point, I mean, Severn's going to have more possessions throughout the game. It's inevitable, right? You cannot let Jacob Todd get hot here. He's had 2 of the last 3 goals. And a guy like that, he's got the ability to hang another 5 if you let him.
Well, let's talk through that. Their 2 top goal scorers, Todd and Dring, had combined for 0 goals until 2 minutes ago. And then since that point, they've got 3.
Yeah, and a couple. When you have certain situations, like a fast break or unsettled situation, like we saw in that last goal,
you're not going to be able to get
It's tough. I mean, Spalding has game planned, for the last couple of days to limit their touches and, be in a defensive position that supports, the on-ball defender. And when you get in those situations I just described, that stuff goes out the window, and then it's just a one-on-one type situation. And a guy like Jacob Todd, he's big, strong, physical. He's going to run through a stick check, and he's going to put in the back of the net and make you pay.
Griffith back out there. 1-goal game and another clean win for Soteropolis. So now a chance for the Admirals to tie the game up here on this possession.
The last several minutes have felt like an eternity here. I look up at the clock now. It's still 7 minutes to play. Just 2 minutes ago, Spalding's up.
4 goals.
4 goals.
Rolling, feeling good about themselves, feeling like they had answered. Some jabs that have been thrown. Tied. I think he was maybe doing a heat check there, and that might be a gift. However, you got to hold on to the ball.
Got to come back and support the ball here.
Hopper.
Still plenty of time to get it over.
And he's just going to go ahead and go for a run, complete the clear himself, and let them get set up offensively. Drastically different situation than the last time they had the ball, however. We were talking about how you could start working the clock. Now, you got to score goals.
Yep, definitely look for that insurance goal here. But you're still early, right? Six minutes left here in the fourth quarter. A lot of lacrosse to be played. We've seen the momentum shift multiple times throughout this game. So look for Spalding to stick with their game plan, continue to play offense, share the ball. I think that's one beautiful thing we've seen today is we've called a lot of different names. A lot of guys are getting involved, and that shows with the balanced offense.
Working his way through, bouncing it home. Joey Matassa joins the hat trick party.
Huge goal there from Matassa. I mean, had a great third quarter there. Couple assists, goal.
Third of the day. 6th of the season for Matassa. He had 3 goals all year coming in today. He's got 3 this afternoon. 11-9 Cavaliers with 5:44 remaining in the fourth.
And now we're seeing Hopper here at the face-off X. So
there you go.
Adjustment's been made. I like seeing Jamison here on the wing. He's starting low and away from, the Severn wing player. He's looking to cut that fast break off in the event that the face-off guy is able to push it forward quickly. So now they'll just look to settle up and play 6v6 defense. So I like the change in game plan there. I would have liked to see it
a couple
maybe
face
2 face-offs ago, but you got to give a guy a chance. Griffith out there wins the first one. It's as important for him to see the ball go forward.
You don't want to kill his confidence.
Exactly.
I get
so I think it's a tough call as a coach to make that decision to switch it up, as it was for him to send him out there in the first place. So good shift either way. Now they're playing 6v6.
Hopper coming in today had been 0 for 2 at the faceoff dot on the season. Shot not on target. Ticking towards 5 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. Spalding in front, 11-9. And we do not know what the story is with Criswell, but he has not been available in the second half. Shot nowhere close from Dring.
And what we've seen from Severn, if you limit their transition opportunities, 6v6, Spalding's had the upper hand, I'd say, whether it be in the zone or a man-to-man situation. If you're 6v6 and it's a settled, offense-defense situation, they've been able to take a lot of time off the clock and limit Severn's, not necessarily their looks, but the quality looks. They've been taking shots that they're probably not happy with taking, but they've been forced to, given the time on the clock.
12 seconds remaining on the possession clock. Up top, Todd trying to get free. Hopper all over him. Gets a shot off, and Newman with a huge save. Now, rebound is there.
Another save.
Newman again.
Wow.
And that'll be
You got the reset on both saves. But
Barrel
those are
coming away with it.
Massive saves there for Newman.
No doubt. Couple of fakes. Hallam trying to get inside, being given nothing. Long possession. Got to dig back in defensively.
Big, strong dodge there.
Yeah, Hayes was going right at Kaufman. Kaufman giving him nothing. 30 seconds. Ruiz.
It's good defense.
Staying right with Hallam.
Got check sticks here. It's going to be an inside look.
Defender hung up. It's Kaufman. Hayes gets a nice shove from Kaufman. Not able to get top side.
Tell you what, he is physical.
Up top.
Definitely not shying away from contact. Nice
Another
save.
save from Newman, denying Todd 3 huge saves in that possession.
Possession here.
And Hopper will indeed slow it. Well, he's got to find help, and finally does.
That's an unbelievable stand by Spalding's defense, and really it starts with Hopper, in my opinion. It's a guy out on an island, 1v1s, right? That's the best player on Severn's team against the best player on Spalding's team. And he was kind of on an island. Spalding has dialed up a little bit of a slide package to support him. But for the most part, it was man on man.
Yeah.
We're going to put our guy out there. You put yours, and let's see what happens. I mean, with Hopper with 30-plus calls turnovers on the season, Todd with 30-plus goals on the season, that's a great matchup right there. And Hopper got the best of him on that possession.
And 70 points. It's not just that he can shoot. He has the vision for the entire field.
Right.
2.5 minutes remaining. Wolf scored a big goal earlier this quarter. Right now, it feels like another one could put it on ice. Stepping in.
There it is.
That might be the one. Matassa. 4th of the day. 12-9 Cavaliers.
I mean, talk about playing with confidence, right?
Said he's been practicing well. Well, it's paying off. 4th goal, 5th point on the game. The sophomore makes it a 3-goal game with 2:21 remaining here in the fourth quarter. They'll go back to Griffith. he at least, again, pushes it backwards, allows them to set up defensively.
And again, I think that's another adjustment. Instead of, going competitively for that face-off, they're almost conceding it, letting him go backwards, knowing, like look at Hopper with a great stick there.
Again. Relentless.
Wow. Add it to the books. Add it to the books.
Oh, you're in the hopper now. Under 2 minutes to play.
Now there's some patience. Get the ball to offensive midi. There we go.
I guess my question would be, if you're essentially conceding, aren't you better off having the defender already on the field in that situation?
That's why I like putting Hopper out there, knowing that he's going to eventually drop back and be part of that slide package that they practice every single day. So I'm not quite sure why they're leaving him out there, but either way, they know that they're beating him 6v6 on that side of the ball. Let's just get him down there and take some time off the clock and get another stop. Now, offensively, with 1:15 left on the clock, up 3, you got to be careful here. Now it's an empty net.
Mollett does well to just get back up, keep running. 30 seconds still on the possession clock.
Still got to be patient here.
Trying to show off your cardio. Wolf goes for a run.
Wolf's
got a lane in front. Oh, and he was almost too unselfish.
I thought he bury that.
Taking that right back in front of goal. Now, under a minute remaining in a 3-goal game, at least a minimal amount of life. Kinsella the other way. Severn's got to go. That shot not on target.
Great trail check there by Hopper.
Yep. Tough falling down Todd. 37.5 seconds remaining. They're going to take a timeout, talk about it. I would say I've seen crazier things. I'm not sure that I have seen crazier things than what you'd be asking for right now. But it is worth pointing out, given the struggles that the Cavaliers have had at the faceoff dot, if they can score a goal in the next 10 seconds, you can't quite say it's over at this point.
Yeah, Glenn, that's a great point. And honestly, thinking back to that last possession where Wolf had the open cage in front of him, elected to feed the ball, you said he was too unselfish. I agree with that. The better play in that situation, I believe there was about 30 seconds on the shot clock at that point. You pull the ball out and you run to space knowing that your face-off has been a struggle and you're just going to give them one goal for the offense can quickly be answered when you're losing face-offs the way they have been the last several minutes here. But in a low-clock situation, these are high school kids, right? Situational awareness is a challenge, and really at any level. I mean, I've been in the same situation numerous times where you want to put one in the back of the net because it's not often that you get a 6x6 wide open net for you to bury the ball. But right there, I would like to see him put in the back of the net in that situation or run the clock out. But either way, up 3, 37 seconds left. Just got to play sound defense here. And
dig in, finish it off, move in front. Well, that's not going to finish it off. It's a pretty impressive one-on-one effort from their best offensive player, Jacob Todd, with a hat trick just here in the fourth quarter. His 38th of the season. Still life for the Admirals, 12-10 with 32.5 seconds remaining. And they do send Griffith back out there, and it seems like you're not sure about that decision.
I'm surprised. I mean, they had success with Hopper out there as far as sending Jameson straight in.
Yeah, you got to get the ball pushed backwards. He did at least do that to prevent the particularly quick goal, but they're able to move quickly anyway, and it's a one-goal game here. Todd scores with 22 seconds remaining. I said we've seen crazier things. Boy, this is starting.
Yeah, when you can win a face-off and score within the first couple seconds of that possession, it's huge for momentum offensively. If they get that stop, they eliminate that initial. I'll go ahead and go through the upcoming schedule
here.
I'll
just tell you, this is what's coming up for the Cavaliers after today. They head on the road, take on Loyola. Then they'll be back home next Tuesday to face Calvert Hall before they travel to St. Mary's. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying to complete the thought here. I mean, if you can get a stop in that first couple seconds, Severn then enters a panic mode where they got to go to the cage because every second that they take there eliminates the opportunity after a face-off in the event that they do score. So they got to stop that initial surge. So I'm curious to see what Coach Hockle is drawing up here for the defense with 22 seconds left.
And they'll go back
Griffith
to Griffith.
Comes back out.
The question is, do you want to try to keep it on the ground or just the same thing, push it backwards?
Well, I would like to see Griffith, make it a little bit more competitive, give up the face-off and then at least right there. I mean, it's tough to combat that.
15 seconds. One chance here for the Admirals to try to force overtime. All the way inside. Shot
Save.
low. Newman gets enough of it, denying Irvin. 5.5 seconds
Got
remaining.
match up here. Check sticks. Check sticks.
And will we get another timeout? Yep. Admirals will take their final timeout here with 5.5 seconds remaining. So what are they going to be trying to do from nearly the corner? What would their strategy be, knowing they don't have a whole lot of time to work with?
I mean, it went out in probably the best possible spot on the end line. Like you said, it's deep in the corner. We saw it after the last timeout, low clock situation. Go figure. Ball's in Jacob Todd's stick. Ask him to go out and make an individual play. I would be shocked if they didn't go back to that now. What I'm more curious to see is how is Spalding going to respond to that. Are they going to put Hopper man-on-man and have a quick slide and allow, Jacob to find that free man for a step down?
He came in today with 34 assists on the season.
Yeah, he's not afraid to share the ball, and he's got great vision. So it's going to be a nail-biter, that's for sure. Spalding taking all their time.
They are not in
huddle.
a rush. 5.5 seconds remaining. Admirals are ready to go. And indeed, it will be tied with the ball. And it's Meehan who comes over.
So it looks like Severn is clearing out some space for Ty, which makes sense. Look for some backside action, some pick movements. And Spalding's really got to come down hard on the gloves.
5 seconds. Todd looking for a cutter. He comes through, and very fortunate. Beard not able to get it on Cage. And that's how this one concludes. Spalding holds on. Breathe in. Breathe out. They win 12-11.
Lost a couple pounds here with the nervous sweats going. But, I mean, you got to go back to 2018 for the last Severn win over Spalding. So they've had the number for the last several years. And I tell you what, I saw a lot of grit from these guys going down 3-0. They didn't trail again after going up 4-3. And that tells a lot about the coaching. Says a lot about the players. Given their youth, you would expect a team like that to go down 3 and, fold, right? Hey, here's another loss. Let's just pack it up and, live to fight another day. Here, they battled. And whistle to whistle.
Despite the fact they weren't able to win faceoffs in the second half, they kept their heads up and said, we'll go do the hard work that's necessary in order to win this game instead.
Yeah, great win.
For the Cavaliers, they improved to 5-9 on the season, 2-4 in conference play. For Severn, they dropped to 12-4 on the year, 3-4 in the conference. Spalding snaps a 3-game losing streak with a gritty home win today over Severn. I want to thank everybody who made our broadcast possible. Paul Garza and his team, appreciate all of your hard work. Andrew Scally, a pleasure. I prefer doing it this way. We don't need Sean. Tell him he can take the rest of the year off.
I agree. He's gone. They get the W.
Right?
Coincidence? Maybe, maybe not.
I would say we don't mess with it moving forward.
Yep.
We'll see you back here in a couple of weeks, Sean. For the entire team, I am Glenn Clark. Again, your final score here today, Cavaliers 12, Admirals 11. You've been watching Archbishop Spalding Lacrosse.